What's up? What's up? And welcome to another episode, Master Moats Film Session. And today, we got to talk about this offensive line. Yeah, man, y'all saw what they did against the Minnesota. Lizzo thought she got left in Ireland after that loss. The Minnesota Vikings. Shout out, shout out. But I thought the offensive line had their best performance this season, both in the run game and in the pass protection element. And I know throughout the first 4 weeks, the popular thing has been to crucify O-line and coaching staff included. But you know me, man, I got a different approach, a different perspective. And I do feel like, this is one of those games where we should highlight some of the positives that they did and really point out some of the growth that we've been seeing with this unit as individuals, but also as a collective. So, yeah, let me know how y'all feel at the end of this thing. But of course, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe because now it's time to get into the tape. All right, so this first play, we get a chance to see the not so good, right? The opening play, man, where we obviously give up a sack, a little bit of a miscommunication with the protection. But I would also say good job by Brian Flores and his defense, because when you look at it from the wide copy, you can see from just a slowing down perspective, Vikings are showing cover zero, which is a max blitz look. When you see 7 defenders all within a yard of the line of scrimmage, that is one of the key indicators for cover zero, max blitz. So that typically tells quarterback and offensive line, we are not going to have enough people to protect. So you need to get ready to get rid of that ball a lot faster than your traditional situation would be. And when you also look at the depth of their secondary players, right? Obviously, number 7 is manned up. He's up close, but the rest of these safeties, right? Backed by the logo, both of these guys, right? Then you also look at the top of the screen. You see that corner 7 yards off of the ball in terms of his cushion on DK Metcalf. Those are all little telltale signs for offensive players that, hey, man, this is a pressure look or this is a pressure indicator with the look. But from there, ball snaps, and what do we see? Man, all right, within 2 seconds of this play starting, we got 3 defenders in the backfield, or at least crossing line of scrimmage rushing. But after that, let's count how many people do we see dropping in coverage. 97. Shout out to Javon Hargrave. That's one player, right? You got 15. You got 7. Those are 3 players. You got the safety deep over here to the left of the screen. Middle of the field dropper in terms of by the logo, right? Middle hook defender. That's the 5th guy. You got the 7th guy at the top by the 50. You got an 8th defender inside of where DK is. I think that's number 58 over there. And then outside of DK, where Kenneth Gainwell is, you got an 8th defender over there. So this is actually a max drop, what we call P drop, right? Because you got 97, a D lineman dropping out into the coverage. So it's only a 3-man rush. But the illusion to start it was, you're going to get 7 defenders blitzing. You are not going to have enough people to protect. And Brian Flores won this. He won this particular snap right here because obviously it ends in a sack as we're just exclusively looking from the wide angle, right? So that's the high level schematics that Brian Flores can bring, right? Showing cover zero prior to the snap, everybody on the line of scrimmage, and then from there post snap drops out 8 defenders, only going to rush 3, but you get confusion and ultimately you get a free defender. Excellent job by him. Now let's look at the tight copy so we can understand what went right and what went wrong for us. So pre-snap, you see the defenders lining up, right? And as we freeze it before the snap happens, you got 4 defenders to our offense's left. So if you look at 54, right, Zach Frazier, he has a guy directly to the left of him. Then from there, Isaac Seumalo has a guy in between the gap between him and Broderick Jones. Then outside of Broderick, you got 2 defenders, 58 and 55, directly on the line of scrimmage, ready to rush, or at least giving you the illusion that they are ready to rush. Then on the flip side, right, to the offense's right, you got a linebacker, Ivan Pace, number 0 in the A gap. You got Javon Hargrave. We know what he's capable of in that B gap between Mason McCormick and 76, Troy Fautanu. And then outside of Troy, you got their other edge rusher, 15. So you can see where offensive line wise, you're asking yourself, man, which way should we slide the protection? Should we have 54, 73, and 77 slide to the 4 big dudes that are down on the ground? Or do you have 54, 66, and 76 slide to the offense's right, which is what they do here? Now, the confusion to me is this. If this is full slide protection, 73, Seumalo, has to maintain inside presence on 61, and 77, as you can see with Broderick, also would be ready to bump down on 93. If it's true traditional slide. Now, if it's BOB protection, or what we call big on big, it would be 73 blocking 93. What you see 77 getting ready to block 58 until he drops out. But the difference would be 14 would, in this theory, need to step up on 61. Now, I don't like that because you're getting a little on a big, but that's a part of the confusion. That's a part of all of the pre-snap communication and decision making that is taking place, all because of the alignment. Now, because we don't have 14 stepping up on 61, that is why you get 61 as a free runner. But to me, the confusion lies with 73, 54, and 14. It's between those three in the sense of if it's man protection and 14 needs to standard protection and block 61, or it's 73 turns to Seumalo needs to maintain inside leverage on 61 when he's taking that inside rush. And then from there, Broderick is doing what he's supposed to be doing in terms of stepping down on 93. And when I look at Broderick pre-snap, he does have eyes on 93, but I'm not all the way sure because, once again, we weren't in the huddle right there. But to me, it's between that. And then from there, that's ultimately why you get this free runner on the first play. But this is what we say is just good job by Brian Flores, right? He's a high level coordinator, and what he does, he's one of the best in the world at that. And he won that rep. But the beautiful thing is, it was more than just that play in this game. All right, so now in this next play right here, we get a chance to see the big guys coming downhill. I'm talking some beautiful run blocking right here, and it's on a play that I'm not the biggest fan of. You know how Tanisha feels about these plays right here. The good old toss. But, of course, when you have success the way that we were having success running this play, we'll allow it. Shout out to Kenneth Gainwell. Nice pickup, man, for the first down. But more importantly, man, when we talk about the big fellas, and especially, man, when we get to this tight copy, you can see nicely how they are doing this thing, right? So zone blocking in terms of the steps, right? Everybody is attacking their down defender's right shoulder, okay? So to the offense's left, but to the down defenders, their right shoulders, what our offensive line is hunting, okay? And as you see with the first couple of steps, right, who is winning, right? Who's winning? Now, personnel-wise, I should start with saying that I like the fact that we actually got big body guys up front, right? This is 12 personnel, but it's 12X. And what I mean is one back, Kenneth Gainwell, but you look to your all the way right on the screen, that's number 80 as a wing. That's a tight end. Next to him, though, is number 74. That's Spencer Anderson. That's also not a tight end, but he's aligned as a tight end. That's the X part of 12X, extra O lineman, okay? Because then from there, you got 77, 73, 54, 66, and 76, your true traditional down lineman. But the reason why I like it is this. If you are going to run to the condensed side of the field, meaning where the hashes are to the right, there is not as much space as where the hashes are where the ball is. If you're looking to the left, right, you got a lot more space over there. So if you're going to run to a condensed side of the field, you need to make sure you got people that can move grown men out the way and win the grass. And that's what you get here, right? First steps on the backside, you look at 66, right? Cutting them off, man. 76, cutting them off. Then from there, you look at Zach Frazier. Excellent job winning the grass on Javon Hargrave, a guy that you know I love. Then from there, you look at Seumalo. Look at the hat placement. He's to the front side. He's to that 1 instead of the 6. That lets you know he's won the head placement part, and at least his body position is where you want it to be for Gainwell. From there, Spencer Anderson firing off that ball, right? Doing enough to get 58 hooked, and now allowing Broderick to overtake him while 74 is still able to climb up to the backer, 0, right? This is how you get explosive runs. Then from there, you look all the way on the perimeter, right? Darnell Washington, no white tees in the club. I told you, he's a bouncer in his spare time, man. Watch him move this little guy up out the spot. You can't wear white tee in here, baby. Not on Sundays, especially in Ireland. We want business casual, okay? No white tees. But then from there, 74 downhill on the linebacker. Love to see it. Broderick downhill. The first time that Kenneth Gainwell is touched is by number 44, and you're on the 35-yard line. This is how you get explosive runs. This is how you run the football at the national football level. This is what it should look like. You want to see your offensive linemen stepping all in the right direction, right? No confusion. Nobody running into each other. You want to see guys on the perimeter in terms of your tight ends, winning that C gap, being bullies there. You also want to see your running back getting that football, getting his shoulder pads north and south and getting vertical. Look at Gainwell. He's able to get vertical, have a little bit of patience, but now he can burst and stay low, protects the football as well once he sees contact coming, right? He gets in a little bit of traffic, 2 hands on the football. This is what you want to see. This is beautiful. And this is coaching tape, man. When you talk about winning the grass, you talk about zone blocking, right? When you're playing the run, this is how it should look as an offensive line. And I like the additional touch from Arthur Smith going with 12X. Getting my extra offensive lineman in there, also utilizing Darnell Washington, players that we know promote running lanes and not the art of surprise. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes you can know what's coming, but you still can't stop it. And that's what this is right here. You know it's run, but can you stop it? I think not.